Action.
Good afternoon, even to our viewers. My name is Dr. Anacleto B. Melendez, the founder of the Beautiful Heart Foundation. And today, I have a visitor coming all the way from the province of Nueva Vizcaya. And I would like him to introduce himself personally, our first meeting this morning. Good morning, good afternoon. Diego is his name.
I am Diego Cabalar, founder of Gamma Spectrum Clan, which hails from Solano, Nueva Vizcaya. So I just came from a 7 to 8 hour travel all the way to meet Dr. Melendez here, which I met on Facebook. Yes. That's the power of social media.
Oh yeah. You're one of those successful networks that I've established over the years in Facebook. Can you just briefly tell our audience your professional and your personal background, of course, the background of your organization, the projects, and why we are linked to each other?
Okay, so as far as we met with Dr. Melendez on Facebook, I explained that Gamma Spectrum Clan started as a mere texters clan in the year 2008, but realizing our mission as the youth body for community affairs, so we decided to partner with the Nueva Vizcaya Pharmacists Association in the year 2009 for our very first medical mission. So it went on and on. So as the years went by until the present, we are having partnerships with the Association of Pharmacists in Nueva Vizcaya for the delivery of medical services to our constituents, especially the indigents. But aside from which, we also have our project READS, which aims to cater our indigent school children to help augment their school supplies needs and also their nutritional sustainment while studying. Aside from which, there is also our focus on the environment, which we hold 3 plantings and seminars of the lab with focus on the environment. But for the health segment, we are partnered with the Pharmacists Association and luckily the Beautiful Heart Foundation, Dr. Melendez, and of course through the assistance of the Brothers Brother Foundation.
And personally, would you like to tell me your educational attainment? How old are you?
Okay, so I'm turning 26 this
Okay.
25th of September. Yes, and I'm currently studying Bachelor of Science in Ecotourism at the Nueva Vizcaya State University in Bayombong, the capital town of the province, and hopeful to graduate by next year, if graduates.
But you have any other courses before tourism?
Before ecotourism, actually I took up nursing, but due to financial constraints and practical reasons, I did not pursue.
How far did you go for nursing?
I went until almost second year. Only, yes.
But do you still have that desire to be a nurse?
If
Given the
God
opportunity.
permits, yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's a possibility because I'm into really education other than offering free health services to the poor people through our medical mission, our drug donation program. But I am also grooming young people to pursue further the education, at least finish high school and go for an undergrad, and hopefully these people will also go further graduate program. Anyway, and I admire you for your passion doing community work, especially that you are not even a professional healthcare provider. And it seems to me that your organization is really in line with the different trusts of the Beautiful Heart Foundation. You're into health, you're into education, you're into environmental protection, and perhaps you're also into livelihood.
Yes, of course. One of our tasks in our organization is to provide sustainable livelihood for our members, and not only that for the community as a whole. But that is still in process as we are focused on the three main uh, programs, which is on health, environment, and education. So we just launched our education leg last June 2013, wherein we were able to benefit 170 indigent people from Bangi Elementary School. That's a mountainous part of Solano, Vizcaya.
And over the years, I always believe that there should be a partnership as one of the trusts of the Beautiful Heart Foundation. Our sixth trust um, gather people for a common cause, or what I call Project Big Kiss, meaning we, we join forces for the good of the community, for the betterment of humanity, for God's greater glory. Um, Quite recently, I also support the current administration's program, public-private partnership. In my last few meetings, I dealt with local government units in Quezon province, in Rizal province. So I get a chance to talk to local government unit executives, mayor, vice mayor, barangay chairman, simply because we need to establish the so-called public-private partnership. And since you are a private organization, do you think we can go further establishing your private organization, my foundation, and local government unit of Solana, Nueva Vizcaya?
Well, of course, Doc, that is into consideration. Actually, we are about to enter a PPP agreement with the municipality of Villaverde. That's a neighboring municipality. So that's under the environmental trust. That is aiming to adopt a parcel of land which is to be developed by either our team or our partnership with the other organizations, just in case we cannot sustain the maintenance of the place. But we are deeply encouraging our local government to participate in our undertakings, especially that we believe that no man is an island.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
and that
And then it's ingrained in our culture, the so-called bayanihan.
yes,
Mhm.
the spirit of bayanihan and volunteerism, of course, should not be eradicated from our system, as the culture of the Filipinos show hospitality to their co-Filipinos.
And I encourage local organizations like in Laguna. I was introduced to the group. Perhaps you have seen my almost three meetings and outreaches in Magdalena, Laguna, through a local organization, Magdalena Riders Club. MRS, Magdalena Riders Club. But if the Beautiful Heart Foundation would like to work with local government units, or say national government, I would like to have a chapter in each barangay, in each municipality, in each province, a chapter of the Beautiful Heart Foundation. And I would like it to be really organized and hopefully institutionalized. People who are involved with the foundation, I call them men and women with beautiful hearts. And to reiterate the definition of the Beautiful Hearts Foundation, of a beautiful heart, very easy to remember the trait, which is also really the trust, the seven trusts. Beautiful heart is caring, C, O, offering, U, uplifting, R, restoring, A, accepting, G, gathering, and E, empowering, the acronym of courage. And that's also the seven trusts. Care for the sick, the elderly, and the dying. O, offering education and training. U, uplift people from poverty. R. Restore the dignity of death and dying. A. Accept donations and raise funds for the foundation. G. Gather people for a common cause. And E. Empower people towards good governance. And all the 7 major trusts we translated into projects. For the health, for the caring, would be Project Aruga. And for the education, Project Aral. For the upliftment and alleviation of poverty, Project Angat. And for the restoration of death, dignity of death, Project Dangal. And of course, the raising of funds, and I call it Project Pera. Now, the gathering of people for common cause, I call it Project Pikis, as I mentioned earlier. And lastly, the one for good governance would be Project Bantay. And all these have their own separate pages in Facebook, in addition to the Beautiful Heart Foundation page. Now, I'm very happy that I think most of our trust, and also your trust as an organization, Gamma Spectrum Clan. Now, if you or the whole members of your clan would like to be the local chapter of the Beautiful Heart Foundation in Solano, then we will work on that direction. Because the Beautiful Heart Foundation is not only registered here in the Philippines, but it has also a registration in California as a foundation. Recently, it is registered in California as an LLC, something like that. And we are adopted by the Holy Catholic Church International through a canonical decree. And we are being supported by a big 55-year-old foundation, Brothers Brother Foundation. And maybe some other foundations will come later to support us. So, if I have time, probably I can go back to Solano. I was in Ilocos Sur last weekend, but I think it's a different route.
Yes.
Yours is the one that I pass by when I go to Cagayan, because my wife is a native of Apari. So, but every time I pass by Solano, it is dark, even evening, dawn time. But I know I can see wilderness, trees, and I support nature as part of the Foundation's trust. I support nature as part of this charm, the so-called charm, or the Center for Holistic, Alternative, and Restorative Medicine. Nature is very important in health and wellness. I have the so-called Tours for Health. I encourage people to tour to different places, to different tourist spots, for not simply to entertain themselves, but to reinvigorate themselves, to rejuvenate, get the strength, the spirit of nature as part of a rejuvenation process. And of course, added to the charm would be the plantation of herbs, fruits, some other vegetations that are very helpful in our body, and to commune with nature, to be in touch with the spirits of the trees.
Yes, it's really a very experience to mingle with the environment and nature.
Yeah.
So it's like refreshing your spirit from time to time.
Right.
The
Yeah.
ambience is just so
Yeah.
unexplainable.
Yeah, and I think that is the answer to the stress in the urban area. In my case, I usually go back to our rest house in Montalban, where there is the mountain at the backdrop of the rest house. There are trees around it. There are animals, and the air is fresh and not polluted. Away from the noise of the hassle of the city life. Now, if I get a chance, I have also a similar retreat place in Davao. I call it Santuario, or Sanctuary, the Beautiful Heart Sanctuary. In Montalban, we call it Santuario del Celeste. That was developed by my sister years ago, more than 20 years ago, as a retreat house. It has a website of its own. In Davao, the Beautiful Heart Sanctuary has a website of its own. We have our small mini forest. I call it Charm Wellness Center and Nature's Park. So um, those are prototypes of what I'm trying to push in that partnership of public and private, because those undertakings of mine, our family, is really private. But granting that the government will partner with Beautiful Heart Foundation, then we can come up with a wider, bigger Charm Wellness Center and Nature's Park. That's how I label uh, Charm, meaning Center for Holistic, Alternative, and Restorative Medicine. Not only a wellness center where you have exercise equipment. In fact, in Davao, I have a jacuzzi, a heart-shaped jacuzzi. But at the backdrop, you can see grottos. If you're Catholic, you can relate what I'm talking about. Sacred place for worship. And of course, the ornamental plants, the herbs, the trees, and the mountains. See, in fact, I'm looking for a place where I can find lakes, rivers, as part of it. But that will happen maybe in a bigger Charm Wellness Center and Nature's Park. And we're also coming up with similar Charm Wellness Center and Nature's Park in California. We are into the promoting animals for health, movement for health, meaning to say exercise program, gardening, movement, anything that could allow you to move, planting trees. See? Yeah. So, with all that in mind, if we can push for the municipality of Solano to partner with the Beautiful Heart Foundation, because there will be a local chapter of the Beautiful Heart Foundation in Solano through your organization. If all your members will be considered men and women with beautiful hearts, then you can start the paperwork. You will get all the support that probably we can give. And for now, you request for medicines that you will use in your medical mission. You have some boxfuls of medicines donated by the Beautiful Heart Foundation, as donated by the Brothers Brother Foundation. These are U.S. brands, quality medicine, very effective. Not only because all these medicines came all the way from the U.S., but maybe because this is blessed by God. No? Later on, I asked my acting chief of staff, Joe, to dig on whatever medicines that we can use, and maybe we can have it documented, and you will have to receive it. Okay, so I am commending your organization for, for contributing your time, your talent, and maybe a little of your treasure to make this place a better world to live in.
Yes,
Under God's glory, for God's greater glory.
definitely all for His glory. And may I just accept that offer to be partners. Of course, we are more than willing to be your local leg in Solano. And as far as this conversation is concerned, and not only that, we will be informing the local government of Solano.
Yeah,
for this.
I have a form actually that I drafted, very simple, requesting the local government unit through the mayor and the Sangguniang to recognize and hopefully accredit the Beautiful Heart Foundation as a non-government organization in the municipality, so that we can be more effective in the implementation of our trust. We have, of course, we are not really that big, non-profit organization, but since we are supported by bigger foundation, at least we can deliver projects, programs that are very effective and services that are very important, especially free healthcare, providing free medicines and some other advocacies. Um, with that partnership, I envision that big things will come out. We educate people, we hone the talents of the local young people in singing, dancing, maybe personality development, leadership seminars, um, promoting good governance.
So
in the
maybe
local.
we can also establish a chapter not only in Solano but the province of Nueva Visayas.
Oh yeah, if you can facilitate that. I have very limited time in the Philippines. In fact, today I'm supposed to fly back to the US, but for some reason I have to stay for a couple of weeks maybe. I have so many unfinished business. And probably that's the reason why I am postponing my trip, because otherwise I might not be able to accommodate you anymore.
Yes.
Right? So you have seen our website, you have seen the Facebook for the Beautiful Heart Foundation and the different projects. Those are reflective of the different trusts, and we will work along that trust. And I'm open to accepting more members that I can call men and women with beautiful hearts. If you ask me, do we have a membership fee? No. There's no need for a membership. It is just a voluntary sharing of time, voluntary sharing of talent, voluntary sharing of treasure. I'm sure as you organize yourself, you're able to find ways and means to raise funds as one of the trusts, to raise funds for the foundation.
Yes, definitely we do some ways, some means in order to promulgate or propagate funds that were from scarce resources accumulated by our members, of course.
And
their
yeah,
voluntary
do
contribution.
not stop. Do not stop reaching out to poor people. You will get their support. Do not stop reaching out to the middle class people. You will get their support. It's just be patient in God's time,
Yes.
right? And always believe that God is our greatest provider. God knows your needs. And once you have your own funds, you empower yourself as a chapter, I will no longer, you work on your own. You operate on your own as long as you know the 7 traits, you know the 7 trusts. I think you can be a very successful, organized local chapter of the Beautiful Heart Foundation. But of course, we start, as you do your baby steps, as you do your small projects, we are there to support you. Say medical missions, that's why, as I've said, we're so blessed, we can share the thousands of dollars worth of drugs donated by the by the Brothers Brother Foundation to the Beautiful Heart Foundation. So I find this day a very historic day because I have now another municipality, Solano, in addition to my hometown in Piquet, Cotabato, in my home city, Davao City, in some of my outlets, adopted communities in Maguindanao, Upi, Maguindanao, in Sarangani, Malapatan, Sarangani, in General Santos, in Puerto Princesa, Palawan, in Antipolo, in Montalban, in Apari. Recently, we have adopted a barangay, one barangay in Ilocos Sur. And this coming Saturday, we will go to another town in Tarlac. The town is called Moncada. So I think we're growing as a foundation. We just, it is a very, very small group. It started in 2005 in Davao City. Inspired by a very simple woman, my mother, Corazon Villeza. the English translation for beautiful heart. So we know the traits, we know the trust, and we know that you work for God's greater glory. So I think we can never go wrong. Never go wrong. This is a foundation that will transform the bad image of the foundation here in the Philippines recently. That not all foundations are as bad as being, publicized in the papers, in the television, in the news. That they are still credible foundations, big and small. And I am very proud of Brothers Brother Foundation, 55-year-old. Now, perhaps the Beautiful Heart Foundation is quite young. We're about to be celebrating our 8th year on February 5, 2014.
Wow, happens to be my mom's birthday.
And that's my mom's birthday too.
Wow.
Yeah, February 5. Yeah, we launched it officially February 5 of 2006, but we are registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission December 19, 2005. Okay, more or less I have shared with you so many things. Now, I have seen your local Gamma Spectrum Clan doing beautiful projects. I'm very impressed. Very impressed. Young people trying to reach out, trying to improve the lives of the common folks, doing their own activities to protect the environment. I like those activities. I support those activities. So again, Diego, thank you for dropping by. We will prepare the logistical support, the medicines that you will need, and let us continue communicating in Facebook. Let us connect in the internet, in emails, in your website, in your Facebook pages. Because people are in their Facebook, and we are trying also to change the excuse me, the image that people are in Facebook to flaunt their properties, just simply to socialize. But I think Facebook is doing more than that. It's doing more than that.
It is one way really of showing the world who really cares about simple things that we are doing. Just like, for example, during our recent mission for the school supplies distribution, most of our resources came from Facebook friends and relatives, and those people we didn't or we least expect to participate in our project. So, to the creator of Facebook, really, this is a very big way of reaching out not only to people of higher classes, but also to people who are below the social classes that are considered to be indigents in their own right, and who need our care, concern that there is still hope beyond our inabilities, financial inabilities or financial constraints. There is still a helping hand and a beautiful heart to lend to these people.
Yes, and in closing, I would like to reinforce that in Facebook, I can see faces with beautiful hearts. Men and women with beautiful hearts. So once again, maraming salamat, Diego. Thank you so much, and may God bless all of us.